Most guys think dating's confusing because women are just unpredictable. It's not. The reason it's confusing is because most guys just don't understand the underlying psychological rules that determine how women operate. And once you understand these, female behavior stops feeling so random and confusing and becomes a lot more predictable. Now, some of these may sound controversial, but they match reality far better than the politically correct version. Let's get into it. Rule number 1, investment is king. One of the biggest reasons guys get flaked on has nothing to do with attraction, it's investment. The more a girl invests in you in the interaction, the more likely she is to be compliant and engaged. And this applies to texting, dates, escalation, and just about everything else. People naturally want a return on their investment. Dating is no different. When I first got into game, I made the classic beginner mistake of trying to make it as easy as possible for every girl to meet because I was just so worried about messing it up and having her bail. So I would drive 45 minutes, take the bus, do whatever to try to meet her at a bar that's near her place. And a lot of those dates led to nowhere, and that's because the girl was not invested. Let's take a look at two scenarios. In one, you drive an hour to go to the girl's place. In the other one, she drives an hour to go to your place. And let's say she's mildly into you in both these scenarios. You're going to be much more likely to get laid in the one where she comes to you because she's invested a lot of her time, effort, and energy, and she wants that investment to pay off. So the takeaway here is you need to get girls to invest. Get her talking on the app before you make plans. Get her phone number, not her Instagram or her Snapchat, and get her to come either to your place or bar near your place. Don't go to hers. Remember, investment is king. Rule number 2, sexual attention is the most important thing for sleeping with a girl. Guys often ask me, hey Alex, what should I focus on the date? Should I focus on banter, qualifying? My answer is almost always the same. Focus on building sexual tension. Sexual tension is what greases the wheels for anything physical to happen. It is often the difference between the girl kissing you back or giving you the cheek, her eagerly jumping on your bed or politely sitting on the couch, and her going on a second date with you or sending you the awkward, I just wasn't feeling the chemistry text. Early on when I was getting into game, I was really bad building sexual tension because I was so preoccupied with trying to make the girl laugh. But if that's all you do, you just become the dancing monkey. You need moments of playfulness and moments of tension. Things like strong eye contact, speaking in a more slow and seductive voice, adding intentional pauses to your sentences, just having, proximity, sitting closer to her, light touches, that sort of thing. Eventually I got better and better at this with practice, and so can you. And if you've ever been friend-zoned or received the I just wasn't feeling it text, I guarantee you the underlying issue was that you failed to build sexual tension. Lesson number 3. Actions always matter more than words. This lesson alone will save you years of frustration. Women's actions will always matter more than what they say. And unfortunately, most guys are actually making decisions based on what a woman says, her words, rather than what she does, her actions. I learned this lesson the hard way in college. I remember one time I had a great date. We're walking back to my place, and she says, just so you know, we're not having sex tonight. And instead of just kind of playfully brushing it aside or making a joke like, don't worry, I hate sex like I would now, I got into a logical debate with her about whether we should have sex or not. And then we get back to my place and somehow, she's still into me. We're passionately making out on my bed. And I think she was even moaning a little bit, but I didn't escalate because she said she doesn't want to have sex. I made the mistake of listening to her words, not her actions. And as a result, took a huge L. I see this scenario a lot in my mastermind. So a guy has a girl come straight to his place, and then she says something like, just so you know, I don't have sex on the first date, or I don't like fuck boys. And then the guy just completely freezes it because he takes it literally, and he does absolutely nothing. And then after an hour, the date awkwardly ends with a hug, and he never sees the girl again. But if you're aware of this principle, you will focus on her actions. And so if a girl's coming straight to your place, there's about a 99% chance that she's DTF. And if you just escalate, she will eagerly sleep with you. This is why I don't really care what a girl says in her bio. I don't even bother reading them. What does no hookups mean when the girl's coming straight to my place at 10 p.m. on a Friday night? Focus on her actions, not her words. Rule number 4, the point of no return. This is something I did not understand until years into the game, but most women have something we call the point of no return. This basically means that if you come close to having sex, but you don't, the girl will often just never see you again. And also, where exactly that point is will vary based on the girl. For most, it's when you're kind of getting really close to sex, but for some it can be second base, for some it can be just the act of you pulling her to your place. Now the psychology here is actually pretty straightforward. So it comes down to backwards rationalization. So you get close to sex, but it doesn't happen. The girl goes home, she starts thinking, she's like, you know, I decided we didn't have sex. It must be because I didn't really like him. We didn't really click, or maybe he's too much of a fuckboy. Now, interestingly enough, conversely, when you do have sex, you benefit from the opposite of that. So the girl goes home and she's like, wow, I usually don't do this on the first night. I must really, really like this guy. Basically, the girl convinces herself, based on whether sex happened or not, how much she actually likes you. The importance of this rule was really cemented during one of the most confusing dates I ever had. This was back when I was living in Austin. I met this girl at a bar, we go on a date, and the date is going great. Like, everything is awesome, we're making out, pull her back to my place, you know, things start heating up a little bit, and then she just randomly starts crying. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I kind of am like, hey, what's going on? And after a bit, she breaks down, she tells me, she's like, listen, the last date I had before you sexually assaulted me, like very heavy stuff. So I comfort her and I say, hey, listen, like, we don't have to do anything sexual at all. We can just stop things here. Like, that's not a problem for me. And she's like, oh my God, really? You're the best. I thought every guy was gonna be like that pushy. I'm like, no, not at all, right? But here's the weird thing. Like, after that moment, that episode passed, she kept trying to make out with me and she was like very handsy, right? But because of the story she told me and because I wanted to see her again, because I liked her, I thought the best thing I could do was just kind of, you know, just maybe kiss her a little bit, but not go past that, right? And then eventually the date ends. She tells me how awesome I am, how she can't wait to see me again. You know, I'm excited. But then when I go and text her a few days later, try to make plans, I get a text like, hey, I'm not interested because it looks like you just want a one-night stand and I'm not into that. That's how brutal the point of no return can be. Now, to be clear, this doesn't mean you need to be pushy or ignore boundaries. It just means that if a girl is willing to have sex with you, you should do your absolute best to make it happen, because stopping too early often leads to you just never seeing the girl again. One last thing I will share with you guys, it seems that for most girls, giving a blowjob kind of crosses that point of no return. I've noticed that, you know, girls I got head from, even though I didn't sleep with them, often I got a second date with them, during which we did have sex. Whereas compared to girls where I just got to second base, oftentimes they bailed on me when it came to the second date. Rule number 5, trying and getting rejected is better than not trying at all. If I had to pick the most important rule out of all of these, it would be this one. Most guys fail not because they try too many times, but because they didn't try enough. They're afraid of messing things up or coming off as creepy, so they becomes polite and platonic. And those always end the same exact way, with a guy either being friend-zoned or ghosted. Taking social risks is attractive. Playing it safe is not. Rejection itself does not inherently lower your value or her level of attraction unless you get weird or reactive about it. This is why you should always keep trying, even if you got rejected earlier. At best, you close. At worst, you show her you have balls and maintain her attraction and respect, as long as you stay calm and don't get phased. Once you understand these psychological principles, dating stops feeling so random. You stop guessing and start recognizing what's happening in real time. And if you want help applying this stuff on dating apps, I put together a free Tinder guide that shows you exactly what works. Link in description. Also, let me know in the comments if you feel like there's any rules or important principles that I haven't covered in this video.